It says, which of the following statements is false? Let me write these down first. It says, every chord is a part of a secant. Every diameter is a part of a secant. Every chord is a diameter. Every diameter is a chord. Okay, so let me break this down first. So it says every chord is part of a secant. So let's define here what is a secant and what is a chord and what is a diameter. So let me draw this out for you. I'm gonna draw a circle because that's what we care about. So here is our circle, right? So in our circle, we have a chord, right? A chord is basically a line that stretches from one point of the circle to another. So this here could be a chord. From here, this point to here, this will be a chord. From this point to this point will also be a chord. Basically, from one point to another is a chord, right? So these guys are all chords. So let me write this down. So basically, chords are basically from one point to another. It does not matter where you start, right? So chords, this here is a chord. So from one point of circle to another. Basically, I could also have this here could also be a chord here. Let me do this here. This could be a chord as well, right? These are all chords. So it's saying, is every chord part of a secant? So what is a secant? A secant basically just states that it's a line that intersects the function or whatever shape you have here at 2 points. So secant or secant line intersects basically shape at 2 points. So in this case, if we have this chord here, we're going to see that this is a point here and this is a point here, right? So I have a point here and a point here. It intersects it. This is intersecting. This is intersecting well, which means I can say that chords also equals secants, right? Because they both intersect here. So A here is a true statement here. A is true. B, every diameter is part of a secant. So what does it mean when we talk about diameter? So let me do this in blue. A diameter goes through the midpoint or the center of the circle. So I'm going to assume that this here is my diameter here. And I'm going to say that this here is the center of my circle. This here is the center of my circle. Basically a diameter. So let me write this down in black. Diameter is basically a chord, but it has to go through, center of circle here. So in this case, this here would be a diameter, right? This guy here is a diameter. Or you can say that this guy here would be a diameter, right? Or yeah, this guy here would be a diameter as well if I cross this midpoint here. Again, this guy would be as well. Again, they're all crossing the middle of the center of the circle, right? So these are all diameters here. However, these are not chords, right? Diameters are not chords. This here, let me figure out. This here are actually, in this case, chords can be diameters. Sorry, diameters can be chords, because again, they're intersecting. This here is diameter, right? This here is 2 points, so which means a diameter could be diameter equals chords, which equals secants. But not every chord is a diameter, right? So every chord is not a diameter, right? Because again, if you analyze this line here, this is not a diameter because it doesn't go through the center of a circle, which means in this case, C is the false statement here, right? Every chord is part of a secant. That's true. It intersects 2 points. Every diameter is part of a sequence. That's good because, again, diameter also intersects 2 points here. Every chord is diameter is false, right? And I use this as an example here. This line is a chord, but not a diameter, but every diameter is a chord, right? Because, again, if a chord here is going from one point in the circle to another, and this point is a diameter as well. So every chord is a diameter. So let's see, they did a C here is the correct option, right? C here is the false statement. So I believe they explained this correctly. So it says every chord is part of a secant. So that's true because both endpoints lie in the circle. That's right. Every diameter is a secant. That's true as well because a secant is a straight line that goes to infinity, and a diameter of a circle that goes through the center of a circle at both endpoints. That's good. Every chord is a diameter is false, right? A chord does not need to go through the center of the circle, but every diameter is a chord because it goes to the center of the circle and it touches from this point to another. So this point here is correct. Great solution analysis. Good inclusion of diagram.